Hi and welcome to this DPO briefing. What we're going to cover today fairly quickly is what is a DPO and whether or not you need one. This is all based upon UK law, so this only applies to the UK particularly, although obviously if you're under other versions of GDPR such as Ireland or the rest of Europe, most of it will apply to you. So, what is a DPO? It's a data protection officer. Okay, and as the name implies, they're supposed to help you look after data. It's a role that's defined in law in the GDPR and its UK version. You've got to have one if you fall into one of those categories. Now, in particular, in the UK, a public body is defined as someone in the Freedom of Information Act 2000 is being covered. This includes a lot of people you wouldn't expect. So, for example, a GP is a public authority because they're funded by the NHS, but an academy school is also a public body, even though they're not directly funded, because they are regarded as being part of the public delivery sector. A DPO can be a staff member of your organisation or engaged via a service contract. They have to have their contact details published, and you've got to be aware of that fact because some people may object to that. And having a DPO means you've got to use them correctly. It's not just you're it role and they never do anything. They have to actually deliver services. So what do they do? Well, first of all, they've got to be an expert. Okay, they've got to understand the data protection law and they've got to keep themselves up to date. That's not easy. There's a lot of changes going on in the law over time. They've got to have expertise in privacy management. That's not data protection law. That's in terms of how you manage privacy and data. And they're required to understand risk and the privacy state of the art. Those things can be quite technical. They've got to be independent, so they must be involved in all issues related to data protection in your organisation, but you can't tell them what to do, and they're required to monitor your compliance and advise you on it and give you advice which is separate from what you are thinking. They act as the interface between the regulator, and they can do with the public as well, and they must be involved in the management of data breaches and also in terms of data protection impact assessments when you're looking at new or changed use of data. They should be consulted on all matters relating to data protection. Their advice isn't binding, but if you dissent to it, it must be recorded. And if you haven't asked for advice, that will be considered as well. If you dissent from data protection officer advice, a lot of reasons you might do that because they're wrong, or just because you disagree with them. Okay, if you do that, you need to record that fact because that will be taken into account in the event of any incident. So can you do it yourself? Well, yes, you can. A lot of people do. But I consider two things. First of all, as you as an employee of an organisation, are you able to be expert and stay expert? It's a big field. It's a lot of work. If it's not your day-to-day job, it's a lot to think about. Also, if you're involved in decision making, are you marking your own homework? Because that's not very safe. A lot of people get appointed to roles like data protection officer and legal manager. Well, that's a bit difficult because you're marking your own homework there, aren't you? You're making decisions on both sides. Tricky. If you're an employer, are you able to live with the fact that you can't tell them what to do and you can't fire them if they disagree with you and that you have to pay for their professional development? Lots of organisations find that difficult. Now, what you can do is you can outsource all of this under a service contract. That's allowed. Okay, and ex-cathedral solutions. Oh, I've come up twice on there. There you are. Provide a service contract service for you at a flat fee per year, no usage charges. So if you're interested in appointing a DPO for your organisation at reasonable rates, okay, please feel free to contact us at sales@excathedral.solutions, okay, and we'll see what we can do for you. Thank you very much indeed for listening. Goodbye.